Hello, YouTube and X. It's your main man, BTM, here, bringing you back to the BTM Crypto News Network. So, thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and super chat. And as always, this is banking giants are quietly moving towards XRP, and most people don't even see it yet. This is the beginning of institutional adoption through the Ripple infrastructure. The shift from Swift style managing real time settlement while liquidity on demand ODL matters for cross border payments. So let me know what you guys think about that as well. And as always, let's get to the sponsor and start the screen share and see what we can see. So this is Caleb and Brown. Caleb and Brown is a crypto brokerage that helps you self custody your crypto and helps you with 24/7 support. And they give you a one-on-one broker. So they are sponsoring the BTM Crypto News channel, and they will be at the XRP Vegas event. I think they are one of the hosting partners. So big shout out to Caleb and Brown. Don't forget about your main man, BTM. And thank you for your support and helping keep the lights on here on the BTM Crypto News Network. So big shout out to Caleb and Brown. And big shout out to the sponsor of the channel. Keeping it moving, we're going over to the bubbles. Doesn't look like such a great day in the market. Only got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 green, 7 actually. Cubic is up 1.7. Qual Network is up 3%. World Liberty Financial is up 0.8%. And World Liberty, I'm sorry, I don't know why I keep saying World Mobile Token is up 0.2% on the day, down 1.6 on the hour, up 1.7 on the week, up 27.9 on the month, and down 65.5 on the year. Not financial advice, just for entertainment purposes, but might be a good time to invest into that. Ton coin is up 1.1. Jasmine is up 1.9. ZK is up 1.9 as well. So now let's go through the market as a whole. Algorand's down 3.4. Atoms, Cosmos is down 4.5. Theta's down 4.3. AIXBT is down 3%. Avalanche is down 3.4. Let me know if you guys want to add anything to the tracker. FET's down 2.9. Ondo's down 3.8. Airdrome Financial is down 6.3. Tau is down 3.4 on the day, up 0.4 on the hour, down 9.8 on the week, down 28.9 on the month, and down 60.8. What up, Dave? What's going on, fam? XPR is up 0.1 on the hour, down 3.6 on the day, down 7% on the week, down 28.6 on the month, and down 53.7 on the year. AIOZ is down 4%. ICP is down 3.3. Stronghold, something we're keeping an eye on, is down 3.8 today, 0.7 on the hour, 5.3 on the week, 30.8 on the month, and 57.3 on the year. Something to keep an eye on. Telecoin's down 4.4. Radiant's down 6.8. Render's down 1.8. Ingestive is down 3.9. Swarms is down 5.3. OKB's down 3.4. Nero is down 4.7. Quant is down 3.2 on the day, 0.8 on the hour, 11.3 on the week, 20.4 on the month, and 35.3 on the year. But I'm hearing big things about Quant. Put that on the keep an eye on list. Dash is down 2.1. Sui's down 4.3. Near's down 3.5. Pith is down 2.9. H bar is down 2.3. Zellcash is down 0.6, I think, unchanged on the hour. Lithium is down 1.1. BGB is down 2.2. Monero's down 2.3. XDC is down 4.6. I'm not sure what's going on in the market, but things are down. Bitcoin SC is down 3.1. Filecoin is down 3.9. Trump coin is down 0.9. Arbitron is down 1.5. CVX is down 6.4. XLM is down 1.8. Link is down 3.5. Hyperliquid is down 9.3 on the day, 0.6 on the hour, 11.6 on the week, still up 13.8 on the month, and 5.6 on the year. Gala's down 5.7. Hashflow is down 6.5. Osmosis is down 2.8. Satoshi is down 3.8. Bitcoin Cash is down 7.1. Ethereum Classic is down 2.5. ZBCN is down 1.6 on the day, up 0.2 on the hour, down 2.2 on the week, down 31.8 on the month, and up 14.6 on the year. I don't like that. It should be up more on the year. I'm not sure what's going on here. Casper is down 2.7 on the day. XCN's down 3.3. Chronos is down 2.1. Powell's down 3.6. Jupiter is down 3.5. Let's look at the big boys. So Bitcoin is down 3.2 on the day, 0.1 on the hour, down 3.4 on the week, down 26.8 on the month, and down 32.2 on the year to 65,340. So it looks like it is dipping back down. Ethereum is down 3.4 on the day, unchanged on the hour, to 1,882. For the week, it's down 4.2. For the month, it is down 36.4. And for the year, it is down 32%. So that's Ethereum. XRP, our favorite cross-border transaction processor, is down 1.6 on the day, 0.1 up on the hour, down 7.9 on the week, 29.8 on the month, and 46.6 on the year. So let's see. There's some good news though today, which is weird. You would think with good news the price would come up, but we will have to see. Let me see something real quick. Okay, so that is the bubbles. Going over to X real quick. We'll watch this quick video and then continue.
We are getting some breaking news on PNC Financial. For that, we're going to turn to.
Let me run this back real quick. Let me see something. Reading something in the background. So let's get back to it. Welcome. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and super chat if you can. So this is a quick video, and then we'll get back to.
We are getting some breaking news on PNC Financial. For that, we're going to turn to Leslie Picker. Morning, Leslie.
Good morning. PNC announcing that it has entered a strategic partnership with Coinbase. The arrangement will expand access to digital assets for PNC's banking clients and institutional investors, and PNC will provide banking services to Coinbase. Shares of Coinbase down about 3.7%, PNC up slightly. According to the release, the two companies will develop an initial offering that will allow clients to buy, hold, and sell cryptocurrencies. The head of Coinbase Institutional saying in the release that it will be supporting PNC's, quote, entry into the digital asset market with our leading crypto as a service platform, which provides PNC with a powerful set of tools to develop a scalable, high growth business built on a foundation of uncompromising security. Kind of in this space, JP Morgan saying last month that it was partnering with Coinbase to pilot JPMD, a deposit token managed by blockchain technology. And guys, later in the hour, we'll sit down exclusively with Bill Demchak, the CEO of PNC, to discuss this new partnership with Coinbase, the company's recent earnings, and bank regulation, as he's here in Washington attending the Fed's Capital Conference, guys.
We are getting some breaking news on PNC Financial. For that,
So shout out to, who is this? CNBC News. So let's get back to the numbers. We'll come back to X. So for the market, we are 2.25 trillion, down 2.68%. For the entire crypto market, the CNC 20 is $133.75, down 3.62%. Fear and greed is at a 14. Extreme fear, I think it was at 8, and it's slightly coming back around. And coming up, we'll have to wait and see. Altcoin season's 29, so it's pulling back towards Bitcoin dominance. Average crypto RSI is 39.45, back to oversold. It was in the 40s, and then it came back down hard. So I guess there is momentum pushing back against altcoins. XRP is $1.36, down 0.30 on the hour, 1.73 on the day, and 8.06 on the year, which is weird because there's been nothing but good news. Currently, we're at $1.38, down 1.74. Market cap is 83.23 billion, 88.2 billion, down 1.74. 24-hour trading volume is 3.29 billion, up 148.38%. Crypto funds logged a fifth straight week of outflows, setting 188, bringing the total to 4 billion. XRP's in limbo, but the bottom might be forming. XRP's struggling below the realized price, meaning the holders are underwater. That keeps the market cautious and short-term sentiment weak. ETF flows haven't helped either. Net inflows show in late January, with total assets dropping. Big players aren't providing enough support yet. On-chain signals are telling 31 million XRPs moved to Binance in a single day. Potential 54 million short-term selling pressure, largest realized loss spikes in 2022. Panic selling often seen near market bottoms. The silver lining, historically, similar spikes preceded strong rallies. If XRP can claim realized price and ETF demands picks up, belief could return quickly, and then patience is key. the market is fragile, but possibly set the stage for a rebound. Interesting. So let me know what you guys think. You think it's over or just starting? Top. Oh wow. Weekly outlook top Bitcoin post shares this week. This week's packed as always, major headlines, volatility, and nonstop decisions around Bitcoin. Let's quick revisit interesting with my audience and the most over the past few days. 100 XRP before 2026. Yeah, right. A bold prediction, missed timeline, and a direct response. This post sparked debate because it's focused conviction versus timing. In crypto, strong beliefs are common, precise, and timing not. Starting the crypto exchange in 2026. These are random articles, but I don't think we hit the $100 in 2026. But the year is not over. Guys, it's just freaking February. Calm down. XRP at crossroads in the ultimate bottom end. XRP is currently navigating a high stakes limbo phase, trading consistently below the realized price. The asset signaling that the mass majority of holders are sitting on unrealized losses, and technical setup typically bleeds caution, keeping short-term bulls on the sideline while sentiment remains chilled. Institution hasn't provided the ETF safety net many expected. Following a cooling off period in January, net inflows in XRP ETFs have stabilized at lower levels, suggesting big players are waiting for a clearer micro signal before stepping in. On-chain warning. Well, influx recent data shows massive movements of XRP up to 31 million coin in a single day. Hitting exchange like Binance translates to roughly 45 million, and potential side sell pressure hanging over order books. So keeping it moving. We'll come back to the coin market cap. This is the XRP ETF terminal. Spots currently at 5.75 million. Leverage volume is 13.94, which is way higher. Bitwise XRP is $15.35, down 3.34 to 2.15 mil. Franklin Templeton is $14.90, down 3.54 to 1.5 mil. Excuse me. We're worried. Grayscale XRP is $26.59, down 2.47. Canary Capital is 14.61, down 3.44. So Grayscale is 969,000. It should be in the millions. Canary Capital is 903K, also should be in the millions. Rex Offspray is $11.24, down 3.5, 145K. 21 shares is $13 unchanged at 23K. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that, brother. Volatility shares is 7.73 million, down 6.49 to $2.23. Turcom 2X is down 6.75. Holy smoly. To $4.28. Volatility shares is $7.80, down 3.70. Pro shares is down 6.85. Wow. To $4.08. Amplify is $15.08, down 3.21. Seems like Amplify is the big winner here. So volatility shares is 7.7. Turcom is 4.5 million. Volatility shares is 890K. Pro shares is 658K. And Amplify is 86K. So moving forward to the radar, and escrow is 33.9 billion. Circulating supply is 66 billion. Burned is 14.3 million. XRP or RLUSD is 1.56 billion. Stable coins exchanges is 14.1 billion. ETFs and indexes is 790 million. DeFi AMA is 244.8 million. Tokenized RWA is 1.5 billion. And the treasury is 473.3 million. So we go down to exchanges. Upbit is up 1.7 million to 38.2. Binance is at 16.3. No change there. BitThumb is up 4.34 million. Wow, 12.8. Uphold is down 107K to 11.7%. BankBit is up 110 to 4.1. CoinCheck is 150K, 3.9. Churros unchanged. Coin 2%, and Bitflyer 1.3. Coinbase is down 27,000 to 0.8. Just looking at a couple there for the top. Oh, only comes to 19. That's weird. Why didn't they throw the other one in there to get the top 20? So this is the XRP ledger. XRP ledger distributed asset value over 30 days, up 48.08 to 461 million. RWA counts 213. Represented asset value is 1.5 billion, up 17.39% of the month. Stablecoin market is 428.6 million, up 5.86. RWA holders is 22, up 10% over the past month. Stable coin holders is 35.6 thousand, up 2.6 over the past month. RWA 30-day transfer is 149.8 million, up 95.6%. And stable coin 30-day transfer is 975.5 million, up 14.7%. And looks like RWA is up RLUSD is up 2.98. Ondo's up 292. And we'll just wait for that flash to come back. Okay, that's weird. The Zacconi 75.3. Brazil Capitals 25.2. So this is one of the articles. JP Morgan names XRP bank's favorite crypto. Here's why it matters. A report disclosure from private JP Morgan Chase briefing has pushed Ripple XRP back into the institutional spotlight. According to the crypto researcher Smoke, JP Morgan identified XRP as the most compelling digital asset for financial institutions in a report compared from Sberbank. While the briefing was not publicly released, the claim has sparked renewed discussion about the XRP institutional relevance. If accurately reflected, the statement could carry weight. JP Morgan is widely viewed as one of the most conservative voices among major banks when it comes to digital asset. Of course they are, because they were saying they wouldn't get into crypto, and here they are in crypto. Why XRP stood out in the report. In the report, a reported evaluation examined digital assets across 4 key factors: banking, utility, regulated alignment, liquidity, efficiency, and settlement speed. Within this framework, XRP reportedly ranked higher due to the role as the bridge asset for cross-border payments. Unlike many cryptos, originally driven by speculation, XRP was designed for payment infrastructure built on the XRP ledger, and it enables near instant settlement on very low transaction costs. Cross border efficiency as core advantage. One of XRP's primary values propositions in solving inefficiencies in cross border payments. Traditional correspondent banks system often involve multi-day settlement. We talked about that. Takes almost a week to get the money over, which is crazy, right? Why would you wait a whole week or more for a transaction when these guys can do it in hour or seconds or maybe minutes, right? You guys are waiting 3 to 5 days. So we knew that was going to end. Pre-funded Nostro accounts, capital locked across jurisdictions. So for this pre-funded Nostro, whatever this is, and capital locked, as mentioned, it takes a while for money to move across the border. So you have to put money in an escrow in case the price changes, which is weird. So if the price goes up or down, you have to lock the money, which costs the bank money. So it's only a matter of time. Like I've been telling you guys, it's only a matter of time for these guys to get fed up and move to something else, right? It's costing them money, it's time consuming. And financial services, especially the bank, is all about making money, right? They don't want to hold money in escrow accounts. They don't want to wait. They don't want to lose money on fees. They look for ways to make additional money, right? So let me know what you guys think about that as well. XRP's model enables on demand liquidity, allowing institutions to reduce reliance on pre funded accounts and free up capital for banks. This translate into faster treasuries and improve liquidity management. Institutional contact JP Morgan and Cyberbank. The report's briefing was prepared by Sberbank, Sber, one of Russia's largest financial institutions, indicating that the discussion was aimed at large scale institutional infrastructure rather than retail adoption. If accurately represented, JP Morgan's position suggests a shift towards utility driven crypto analysis, less focus on ideology and more on operational value, and institutional environments. Functionality typical outweighs the price of volatility or speculation narratives. Long term enterprise strategies. Ripple has long positioned XRP as the enterprise grade asset rather than a retail driven cryptocurrency. Over the years, the company has focused on partnerships with banks and payment providers, aiming to embed XRP within the settlement system rather than position it purely on speculative tokens. This enterprise alignment is frequently cited by XRP supporters as the key differentiator. But that was the problem too. Since they were trying to get into banking and to use banking for these regulators, right, or regulations, that is why a lot of these guys were hesitant to use it, and why the lawsuit happened, because they wanted to use it in settlement for banking. And then they went to court, went back to court, and went back to court. But since XRP has cleared all this regulatory authority, it will be one of the major movers in crypto, right? They've already been sued, they've already been to court, they've already been exonerated from anything they have been charged with. So it doesn't make sense that they would be still not trustworthy, right? They've already been to court, everything is good. Finally, growing institutional visibility. The reference article also highlights XRP's increasing visibility in policy and infrastructure discussions that has been mentioned in the broader regulatory and risk framework conversations, reflecting institutional awareness through not so formal endorsements, such as visibility, often plays an important role in institutional adoption, where familiarity can reduce perceived risk. Expanding ecosystem signals. The narrative around XRP has been shaped by broader ecosystem developments. For example, Cardano founder Charles Hoskinson has explored potential collaboration involving XRP to expand the interoperability and the DeFi integration. If realized, such cross chain efforts could broaden XRP's liquidity pathway and deepen its presence across both institutional and decentralized environments. So basically, everyone's trying to get a piece of XRP because they know it's going to take off, and it would help XRP to be able to be used across several platforms, not just one. And once it starts working, everybody's going to jump on board. Anyway, XRP CEO Brad Gensinghouse has previously projected that Ripple could achieve a $1 trillion evaluation by 2030, reinforces the company's long term enterprise focus, with such projections remain speculative, then reflect Ripple's positioning of XRP as an infrastructure rather than purely market driven assets. A signal, not a conclusion. Despite the buzz, the reported JP Morgan briefing should be viewed cautiously. The document has not been publicly released, and the private institutional analysis does not always translate into immediate market action. However, such narratives can influence perception, especially if the institution finance where the sentiment shifts, or if banks begin framing digital assets through the lens of the utility rather than the speculation. XRP could see a shift in how it is positioned within the broader financial ecosystem. That's one article. This is the next article. Ripple banking infrastructure and the future of XRP. Ripple recently spent $4 billion on strategic acquisitions to build complete financial stack. This huge investment aimed at prime brokerage, payments, and institutional custody. Ripple recently spent $4 billion on strategic acquisitions to build the complete financial framework. This is huge, aiming at the prime brokerage, payments, and institutional custody. As results, the conventional banking are currently queuing to utilize this Ripple's latest Ripple banking infrastructure in their day-to-day activities. The need of Ripple infrastructure in banks. The firm has acquired Hidden Road, the rail, in order to bridge the gap between traditional finance and digital assets. These applications enable banks to settle transactions and transfer stablecoins in real time. Hence, by deploying these new blockchain pipes, financial institutions can evade low outdated systems. In addition, the acquiring of G Treasury links Ripple to corporate cash managers is a foreign exchange and the international payment software that manages big business due to the fact Ripple has become the key dependency to large business operations. A new national bank charter. Recently, the OCC is issued a national trust bank charter to Ripple. This particularly regulates license permits direct access to the payment rails of the U.S., such as Fedwire. Therefore, the company is established bank instead of a soft provider, maybe a software providers. Conventional banks like the bank favoring deals with entities that are regulated to achieve maximum compliance. This charter eliminates legal uncertainty among institutions that wish to adopt blockchain. This might ultimately render Ripple the main platform of all bank transactions. The February 26th ETF deadline, one of the biggest SEC deadlines, is a new crypto fund that will come February 26th, which is 3 days from now. I guess that is Thursday. T. Rowe Price manages 1.8 trillion in listed XRP on its official filing. It is worth noting that this action is indication that the assets is regarded legitimate and relatively huge institutional investors. This deadline may result in a new professional capital wave nowadays, as an already substantial share of the token supply is already in several spot ETFs. These funds will offer a controlled channel to the Wall Street in case they are approved. On chain digital signals rally. Recent on chain data depicts that the amount of losses realized by holders surges large. In the past, this particular indicator was visible immediately before the explosion of the 2022 price. This compilation is seen by many analysts as an indicator of the local bottom, as well as 40 new whale wallets that were introduced since January. This institutional investors are cashing in millions of tokens in the present market slump. A combination of these factors would imply that the institutional interest is increasing through short-term volatility. Say it ain't so. So back over to the BTM Crypto News Network. Make sure you follow us on X to stay current of news and events. This is Japanese led XRP adoption. Japan continues driving institutional adoption of XRP through strong partnerships and clear crypto regulation. Asia is building the future of global payments, and the U.S. is falling behind because they are caught up in the Clarity Act. They better get on board soon or get left behind. So, who is this? This is Brad. What I guess this is XBI and Ripple. Breaking news. Wall Street giant JP Morgan reportedly highlights Ripple as the top digital asset for banks, citing its speed, low fees, and cross border payment power. The institutional interest in XRP is heating up. The bank worlds are watching. And that's what we're saying, bro. It's cheaper. At present we note the speed, cost, and liquidity characteristics of Ripple has made it the most appealing crypto for financial institutions and application scale. I know that's right. Right? It's all about the fees, the fees, the fees. Look at the case of Ripple, which has been potential to disrupt cross-border payments processing along with along the industry globally. Okay, JP Morgan, we see you out here. I see you out here, JP. This is Signal, a French banking giant, just chose XRP Ledger. Something. SG Forge has deployed EUR convertible Euro CV as its euro backed stablecoin on the XRPL. Notice there's a lot of stuff running on the XRPL nobody's talking about. The third blockchain after Ethereum and Solana. The Y, fast settlement, low fees, enterprise grade rails, Ripple handles custody. This isn't a test. SG Forge says EUR convertible will be usable inside Ripple's production ecosystem as trading collateral. Regulated stablecoins aren't experiments anymore, they're infrastructure. Watch
experiments.
Man.
A French banking giant just picked the XRP ledger. Société Générale Forge has launched its euro stablecoin, EUR convertible, on XRPL, marking its third blockchain deployment after Ethereum and Solana. The goal is simple: scale adoption using a network known for fast settlement, low fees, and enterprise-grade performance. Ripple is supporting the rollout with its custody infrastructure. This isn't just another chain expansion. SG Forge says the move opens the door to new use cases, including using EUR convertible within Ripple's product ecosystem and as trading collateral. For traditional finance, this is about compliant, transparent digital cash moving across multiple chains. For crypto, it's another sign that institutional-grade stablecoins are becoming infrastructure, not experiments.
So shout out to the finance media, the French company, keeping it moving. We read this article breaking the largest USA federal bank announcement showing collaborations with Ripple with the use of the XRP for payments. The XRPL banking token, DPay token, is launching and pre-sale in just 14 days. And not financial advice. This is just for entertainment purposes. But I generally don't do pre-sales. I have not made a pre-sale work yet. Representative Scott Fitzgerald says that there are some decentralized bank products out there, XRP, that needs to be integrated into the banking system. What's this?
I have a bill that actually is going to come up in financial services that would, I think, help kind of advance the idea that there are some decentralized banking products out there that need to be folded into this stuff. I mean, it's kind of like we're having this discussion about crypto, but at the same time, you have to integrate some of the real life banking that is going on in the country. Yeah. So I'm hopeful that this bill passes and it creates kind of a pathway for this. I have a bill that actually is going to come up in financial services that would, I think, help.
So where is this bill and when is it coming up? Here's why the banks will choose XRP over SWIFT. Global finance on the brink of transformation. While money now moves digitally, the systems that govern cross-border payments are decades old, slow, and expensive. As blockchain technology matures, regulatory clarity improves, institutional adoption accelerates. Analysts argue that banks are increasingly positioned to favor XRP over the legacy Swiss system. Gotta sneeze again. Hold on a second, guys. Sorry about that. Jesus Martinez recently highlighted the trend in a YouTube video explaining why XRP emerging as the preferred settlement solution. He traced Ripple's origins, examined inefficiencies to the SWIFT network, and outlined how XRP's growing infrastructure and institutional traction reshaped cross-border payments. Let's see what he has to say. Ripple, originally founded as OpenCoin in 2012,
If you're
aimed to revolutionize payments the way the internet transformation. The XRP ledger designed to enable instant, low cost, overcoming inefficiencies inherent in traditional banking. So we'll get to this video in a second. I want to run this real quick. Breaking news: XRP today. XRP price.
Fidelity. Okay, you think Ripple Bank is the only big news today? Oh no, wait for it. Fidelity has a digital assets bank provisional charter that was also approved. They're going to start doing things like crypto custody. Do you know what that would indicate to me? All the money's going to be flowing in. All the money in all the world. Now, in addition, we also have European banks. They're getting a big green light forward with regards to XRP as well. That was today. What else is going on, Michelle? Too much. You guys, all we have to do is look around in order to find a little bit of news. And I promise you something. This isn't hopium. These are facts. I love you. I love you guys. All right, the XRP party. When is it going to happen? Like, am I supposed to arrange the party? Because if you guys want me to, I need to first start with my dress. I've already found it. So, yeah. And you guys, I'm probably going to do my hair. Don't get excited. I love you. Okay.
So shout out to that video, even though it's kind of low. Malaysia Central Bank explores Bitcoin and XRP as potential monetary accelerators. Niger, Malaysia has released a working paper exploring scenarios in which cryptocurrencies, specifically Bitcoin and Ripple XRP, could replace cash in circulation or banks' deposits, becoming widely used payment methods outside traditional banking systems. And this is what I was telling you guys. There's a lot happening behind the scenes, and the paper highlights Bitcoin's decentralization and censorship resistance and the XRP speed and low transaction costs for cross-border payments. However, the report notes that clear regulation, consumer protection, and reduced volatility in a robust infrastructure are necessary before such assets could achieve mass adoption. And we know that, but the thing is, these guys are talking about it, guys. That's what a lot of people are missing. Don't be late to the party. Top crypto coins and their founders: Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, USDC, XRP, Dogecoin, Tether, Tron, Binance, and Cardano. And this is another quick one, and then we'll go to that video.
Break.
What is he saying? Breaking news: Ripple managed to confirm 1 trillion to top Euro banks now using XRP. Analysts say the next 3 months will be incredibly bullish for XRP, and here's why. Let's do this, and then we'll go back to that other video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Ripple XRP. Breaking news right now. I have a huge video for all of you that hold XRP because a Ripple manager, this guy right here, he works for Ripple in Dubai, and he just confirmed that a $1.8 trillion top 10 European bank is now officially using Ripple XRP.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Somebody's actually using it? Oh, these guys keep telling us they're only testing it, but these guys are freaking using it. Pay attention. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and let's get back to the video.
A huge bank in Europe based in the EU, Societe Generale, just expanded its MiCA compliant stablecoin, its euro convertible stablecoin. By leveraging XRP speed, low cost, and scalability, this bank, Societe Generale, is bringing bank-grade reliability to global payments and DeFi on the XRP ledger. This is a huge step forward for institutional adoption on the ledger. The Euro coin stablecoin is now live on the XRP ledger, and this was issued by a massive bank, Societe Generale. Not many of you probably have heard of this bank, but this bank right here, they officially released it on their official webpage a few days ago, how their stablecoin is now available. It is live on the XRP ledger. And this is a big deal because this manager that we're speaking about, he posted on X confirming that this partnership is real. Yes, a top 10 European bank with $1.8 trillion in assets does not follow XRP ledger community norms or niceties and has their own compliance requirements and timescale for announcements. And he gave the official contract address for this news for the Eurocoin going live on the XRP ledger. This is great news, actually, for the XRP ledger because Ripple's manager, Luke Judges, this guy that we're speaking about, has confirmed the issuer account. Societe Generale has issued their stablecoin on the XRP ledger, their MiCA European compliant stablecoin on XRP. This is huge, everyone. A top 10 European bank with 1.8 trillion.
So shout out to Crypto X Man, and let's go over to this video, see what this guy's talking about real quick, and call it a day.
You're either a new holder for XRP or you're just trying to advance your knowledge in everything you need to know in regards to XRP versus Swift, this is the video for you. In this video, I'm not just going to tell you just why the banks would want to choose XRP. I'll tell you the real reason the banks are switching. This isn't something that isn't happening. It's already happening. And so I want to give you the lowdown on every single facet you need to know in regards to the XRP versus Swift debate. Really, the most common question I receive as an XRP content creator is, well, why would people choose, or why would banks choose the XRP system versus the Swift system? And that's exactly what we're going to be answering in today's video. So strap in because it's going to be a long one. It's going to teach you a lot. It's really going to be everything you need to know. I promise you, no time is going to be wasted. So let's get right into it. So they told us it would never happen. They said the banks would never touch crypto. And yet over 300 financial institutions later, here we are. With Ripple's valuation, the people running the show over at XRP, now at over $40 billion. The settlement time at 3 to 5 seconds a transaction. Yeah, that means that if I want to send $1 to Timmy across the planet, it takes me 3 to 5 seconds to do that. And the cost per transaction is lower than ever. I want to break down why the banks are choosing XRP. But to do that, I need to give you just a little bit of context on the history of Ripple and really their original vision with XRP. So back in 2012, this is where it all started. Ripple, which wasn't called Ripple at the time, had one simple idea: do for money what the internet did for information. Think about that. In the 90s, sending a letter took days. An email, I mean, they made it instantaneous. Ripple looked at global payments and said, well, why is money still stuck in the 90s? They wanted to do the same that email did for letters, but for the global financial system. And so in 2012, they founded as OpenCoin. This is before they were called Ripple. They had David Schwartz, Jed McCaleb, Arthur Brito. They built the XRP ledger. And then really the hype cycle began in 2015 and 2018 when they launched their coin, and it really started going parabolic. We had some major banks beginning to pilot XRP. Pilot just means they're testing a program to possibly use it. We had people like Amex, MoneyGram, all piloting the XRP. However, the banks had something up their sleeve. Before giving up the power, the SWIFT banking system had one thing up their sleeve: the SEC. The SEC dropped a lawsuit on Ripple. And so 5 years of FUD began. Most people would have given up. But in 2025, the SEC case was dismissed and XRP was seen as not a security. And something interesting that happened right after the SEC case was dismissed, they went ahead and figured out, well, it looks like Ripple's fine and XRP is fine. They're not doing anything wrong. What they ended up pretty much causing was a just absolutely monumental amount of interest that entered the XRP cryptocurrency. Not only did the price of the crypto go up, but many banks now had access and institutions started accumulating XRP. And so now they have over 300 partners, a $40 billion valuation, permission DEX live, and RLUSD, their stablecoin, is at $1.4 billion. So game on, really game on. So the problem nobody talks about, and this is something interesting, is, the SWIFT banking system is on a timeline, and they've tried everything in their power to stop XRP from being the main use case. They know for a fact that there's no way that what they're currently doing is efficient, but they want to try in every single fashion they can to retain control, because the most powerful thing you can do as a bank is control where the money goes. I mean, they're more powerful than the military, because at the end of the day, the military needs money in order to build up their arms. And so the SWIFT banking system is incredibly powerful. It's not going to be an easy race, but here are some obvious ways that the XRP way is much better than what SWIFT is currently doing. So here's what they don't want you to know. Every single time a bank sends money overseas, they're using a system from 1973. It's 53 years old. So here is what SWIFT does. This is the old way. Takes about 2 to 5 business days to settle. They're $25 to $50 per transaction, plus hidden FX fees. They go through 3 to 5 middleman banks. Trillions are locked in pre-funded Nostro accounts. And, well, there's little visibility. Money just disappears for days. Here's the new way. XRP. It settles in 3 to 5 seconds, anytime, any day, doesn't matter when. It costs a fraction of a penny. It's a direct transfer. So you do not need a middleman. There are no pre-funded accounts, so capital is totally freed up, and there's full transparency. So banks love transparency. You can track it on the ledger in real time. One of the biggest scams in crypto was that people thought Bitcoin, all the drug lords are using Bitcoin, so that means it's untraceable. No, that's a total psyop. All of that is very trackable. Everything you do in crypto is very trackable. So don't think it's not. And so my question is that, well, if you're a bank CEO, which one would you pick? Well, right now you're kind of forced to pick the SWIFT system because, well, you've already been using it and you guys have so much market domination. But there are going to be new players, and eventually people are going to be moving to the new world order. And, well, XRP is already positioned to take over that market. And so eventually, newer, more competitive banks are going to choose the better way. And eventually, customers are going to realize that maybe I don't have to wait 2 to 5 business days and paying all of these archaic Forex fees. And maybe I don't have to do that anymore. And so they're bleeding money on every transfer. Here is the trap. This is the Nostro Vostro trap. The part most people don't understand, but it's the entire reason that XRP exists. Without XRP, Bank of America wants to send money to Japan. They need to already have Japanese yen sitting in an account in Japan. It's called a Nostro account. Every bank needs these in every country they do business with. Remember, hundreds of countries all over the world. That's trillions of dollars parked in doing nothing. And so with the new way, let's say theoretically, Bank of America wants to send money to Japan. They convert the dollar to XRP, so to the cryptocurrency. It crosses the ledger in 3 seconds and automatically converts to the yen on the other side. Minimal fees. In 3 seconds, they have their money. They don't need to park trillions of dollars. They don't need a middleman. They don't need anything. And all that trapped capital, it's now free to use. And so that is the reason why XRP is poised to disrupt the current world order. Here's how a cross-border payment works on XRP if you were curious. It's 3 steps. I mean, it's like 5 seconds max. I mean, 5 seconds, I'm being generous. It's 3 to 5 seconds max, and you're done. Remember, that technology can only get faster. This is the worst it's going to be. Step 1, just to break it down, USD to XRP. Bank converts fiat to XRP or RLUSD. And then it crosses to the XRP ledger, which, remember, this is all automatic. If you don't understand it, it doesn't really matter because you're just going to click a button and it's going to happen. It settles in 3 to 5 seconds. Full transparency. You see it everywhere. And just like that, it's converted to the local currency and deposited. That is it. While Swift is bouncing your money between 5 different banks in 3 days, XRP just finished the job before you could blink. And Ripple's network covers 90% of the global Forex market. Over $70 billion is already processed through Ripple payments across 90 plus markets. My friends, if you want to trade XRP while it's still early, right now we have a 1,000 XRP giveaway happening. We started it very recently. Link in the description. If you're looking for a crypto exchange to trade on, to get some XRP, that's the best place to do it. They have some massive trading bonuses. So if you want to leverage on XRP, HBAR, Bitcoin, whatever, this is where quite literally I am currently trading if you see any of my other videos. So link in the description below, and let's keep going into it. So this isn't hopium. You know, a lot of people just think that I'm just saying things, right? You just think that the average XRP YouTuber doesn't really understand. They're just saying things to say things to get views. No. This is real. This is very real. This is like, we're in 2026 now. It's not like this is 2017 where we didn't really know what was going on. These are real names. Over 300 banks, over 6 continents. People said no bank will ever use XRP. Cool. Tell it to these guys. Here's the big one, SBI Holdings. Japan right now is leading the charge. They are just dominating the market. We have MUFG, the largest bank in Japan. The Bank of Japan endorsed XRP. Over 80 different regional banks. Japan is all over this right now. The United States, we have PNC Bank, the first major U.S. bank. Bank of America confirmed pilots. American Express already working on cross-border. We have Europe with Santander, OnePay FX app. I'm not even going to bother. Society General or a Euro stablecoin. Standard Chartered, which keeps giving price predictions that are just, I mean, they have a $28 per coin prediction by 2030 for XRP. They're very bullish on this coin. We have the Middle East, which has Zanbank, UAE's first digital bank. The Qatar National Bank. Yeah, you heard it. National. The Al Rajhi Bank from Saudi Arabia. Latin America. Itaú, Unibank. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. In November 2025, Ripple raised $500 million at a $40 billion valuation from Citadel Securities. Listen to that. Fortress and Brevin Howard. These are big boys. They're not little boys. This is very serious. We need to talk about what is going on because Ripple runs the show for XRP. Their North Star, their purpose is to advance XRP. And so we need to talk about everything that they've
Let me know what you guys think as well. If we'll be able to ride it back up. I definitely would love it for it to come down so we could get it while it's down or ride it back to the top. Well, let's finish the video.
Done so far because all of it is to advance the mission for XRP. The numbers do not lie. Here's what RippleNet has already done. People keep asking, well, when adoption? It's already here. RippleNet is one of the most battle-tested payment networks in crypto history, if not the most advanced network in crypto history. They've done over $95 billion in payments processed, over 4 billion XRP ledger transactions, over 70 payout markets, which, by the way, was 3 in 2020. They have a 430% weekly payment growth versus 2023. In terms of their ODL, which is on-demand liquidity, well, they've done $15 billion in cross-border payments in 2024 alone, which is a 32% year-over-year growth. 40% of RippleNet partners are actively using XRP for settlement. And just a fun fact, one of the $12 trillion per year, just massive behemoths that they acquired had 0% crypto penetration. And now it very much is going to be using XRP. So we are getting into traditional markets. That's the idea. Ripple doesn't want to be a crypto company because they're thinking bigger than just crypto. They happen to be using crypto very much, and XRP is very important, but they want to conquer the entire financial market. They're not interested in just the crypto markets. Bitcoin isn't the goal. It's above that. And so the network effect is over 300 institutions across 55 countries are using it. They cover a massive amount of the global market. Over 1.8 million transactions per day are on the XRP ledger. And every new bank means switching costs worth billions of dollars for competitors. And let's talk about the acquisition spree that they did last year, because last year was the first year that they finally escaped the SEC shackles and they got so much demand. I mean, if you look at XRP ETFs, and I encourage you to look into this, institutions are all over XRP right now. It is the most in-demand altcoin next to Ethereum. It's not even close. Solana is not even remotely close to the demand XRP is reaching right now. And it's because of this. Ripple's 2025 acquisition spree was massive. In 2025, Ripple didn't just talk about replacing traditional finance. They started buying it. 3 massive deals with one mission. Now, the first one is Hidden Road, which is now called Ripple Prime. This was in April 2025. It was a $1.25 billion deal. It's a global multi-asset prime brokerage, which clears $3 trillion a year, has over 300 institutional clients, with RLUSD, their stablecoin, as collateral across all products. Post-trade settling happens on the XRP ledger. They had a $1 billion deal with G Treasury, which is now called Ripple Treasury, on October 2025. These are very recent things, by the way, very recent, which is why this topic is more important than ever to talk about. They had over 40 years in corporate treasury. They process right now $12.5 trillion a year with over 1,000. They're not just customers. They're institutional customers. They're the big boys across 160 countries. Here's some of their clients if you're curious. We've got Volvo, American Airlines, Goodyear, just a couple examples. And it opens a $120 trillion corporate treasury market. And the last one, which is a little bit of a lesser one, but important because stablecoins are a bigger part of crypto these days, Rail. In August 2025, they got it. It's a business-to-business stablecoin payment platform. They handle about 10% of all global business-to-business stablecoin payments. It's right now $3.6 billion of a $36 billion market. They have virtual accounts, automated settlement. And so, like, you look at this and you connect a little bit of the dots here. Now that they're free from the SEC, they've gone on a mass infrastructure acquisition spree. They've gotten all of the infrastructure that they need in order to make this a reality. And from their CEO, this is Brad Garlinghouse, we are accelerating our expansion, leveraging XRP to bring traditional finance and crypto closer. That is $3 billion invested in acquisitions and strategic opportunities. Now, David Schwartz, he is one of the technical officers over at Ripple. Well, not anymore. But when he was there, he said a low price hurts XRP. Everyone thinks banks want XRP cheap. The Ripple CTO actually said the exact opposite. He said a low price for XRP actually makes it more expensive to use for payments and exchanges. Interesting. He reiterated that last month. And so if XRP is at $1, which it kind of is pretty close to that right now, to move $1 million, well, you need 1 million XRP, which is a lot of the token. You have slippage, market impact. There's more friction for the bank. But an XRP at $10, $100 to move $1 million, you'd only need 10,000 XRP, which means you can have deeper liquidity, tighter spreads. It's cheaper for the bank. If you're moving a lot of the supply, of course, it's going to be very expensive. But if you're moving a small portion of the supply, it's going to be a lot cheaper for the bank at the end of the day. And so the more adoption, the better. And it's a virtuous cycle happening right now. Now let's run some numbers, theoretical numbers here. This is all speculation. Now we're getting into the speculation. What if just one bank routes through XRP? If you did not know, JP Morgan Chase processes nearly $10 trillion every single day. You can check this yourself. Over 170 countries, 120 currencies, and reports suggest that they recently named XRP the most compelling digital asset for financial institutions. Now, here's a very conservative 1% of JP Morgan's daily volume running through XRP. That means about $100 billion per day runs through XRP. And at 10x velocity, if each XRP is reused 10x per day, that means $10 billion in XRP is needed daily. And that's just one bank at just 1% of their volume. Not 100%, not 50, 1%. Let that sink in. Now, at an aggressive 5% of JP Morgan's daily volume, that's $500 billion a day running through XRP. And at 10x velocity, that means $50 billion in XRP is blocked daily. At this level, I mean, XRP's price pretty much has to rise. It's like there's not enough XRP out there. Now, remember, there are over 300 institutions on RippleNet, and JP Morgan is just one name. So do the math. Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, said that within the next 5 years, XRP could capture 14% of SWIFT. And I'm actually going to go ahead and let you know that he said 14 to 20%. So I am giving you a very conservative amount here. 14 to 20%, I'm giving you 14%. At XRPL Apex 2025 in Singapore, you can check yourself. Ripple's CEO made the boldest prediction in crypto. If you're driving all of the liquidity, it is good for XRP. I'll say 5 years, they'll do 14%. SWIFT moves between $150 trillion and 1.25 quadrillion a year. So let's do the math on 14%. So if we do 14%, which is Garlinghouse's target, well, we're going to need $5.75 billion locked daily. That's $21 trillion a year. That's a lot of money. A lot of money. At 20%, this is the updated analyst projection. That's $30 trillion a year. We need $8.2 billion locked daily. Daily. You heard that? Daily. Not yearly, daily. At these numbers, Schwartz's thesis becomes undeniable. And full replacement, which, guys, it's probably not going to happen in a while. This isn't something that's going to happen next year, but still we can talk about this. That's 150 trillion a year at the low end. Remember, I'm giving you low end math, not the full 1.25 quadrillion. That's $410 billion a day. And at the 10x velocity we project, that's about $41 billion we need to lock daily. And some estimates put SWIFT at 1.25 quadrillion, which is 8x higher. And so the higher the volume, the higher XRP needs to be priced, the more efficient it becomes. That's the whole thesis. The elephant in the room that I want to answer, something that gets asked all of the time that I see.
That is a good question, Holiday. We'll have to wait and see. Definitely think it'll happen, but we'll have to wait. Let me know what your comments are in the descriptions.
Let's address the elephant in the room. Will banks actually use XRP? The biggest fear, uncertainty, and doubt right now on XRP is whether or not the banks will use XRP. Here's what they say. Banks will just use RippleNet and RLUSD, the stablecoin. They don't need XRP. Let me break down why that argument misses the full picture. And so here's the about what the critics say. Banks can use RippleNet messaging without touching XRP. Only about 40% of RippleNet partners actively use XRP for settlement today. Banks are risk averse. They don't want volatile assets in their books. RUSD is stable and purpose-built for institutional settlement. And here's the full picture on what they miss. XRP and RLUSD are symbiotic. They are not competitive. RLUSD handles stable transfers. So let's say you want to send $1 and you want to get $1, you can use RLUSD. However, RLUSD, it runs on the XRP ledger. It runs on XRP. XRP is the liquidity bridge underneath. Everything runs through XRP. So every RLUSD transaction on the XRP ledger burns XRP fees. That means it permanently removes XRP from the supply. XRP bridges between tokenized systems that don't share rails. It is the interoperability layer. So banks don't hold XRP, they use it. A transaction takes 3 to 5 seconds. They convert $1 to XRP to a pound, and it's done before the volatility even matters. It's 3 seconds. RLUSD gives them the stable on-ramp. XRP gives them the instant settlement layer. And together, they solve the exact problems the banks actually have. They literally feed each other. Very massive. Let's talk about some upgrades that recently happened for banks, specifically for XRP. This is very, very, very recent. This is in February 2026. They had 3 upgrades in 14 days. Banks can now go on-chain. You notice how like everything is kind of just advancing faster and faster for XRP. And now that they're not bound by the SEC lawsuit, they can actually finally do things. This is something I want you to kind of click, that they're finally free to do these things, and they're advancing so quickly. They're so aggressive right now. It's so aggressive. This is what nobody's talking about. The XRP ledger just activated the infrastructure that banks were waiting for. So on the 4th of February, they went ahead and started permission domains. Banks can now verify credentials on Ledger. They can access control for institutions. It had massive approval across the board. On the 12th of February, they had token escrow, which went live, which is conditional settlement for all tokens. RLUSD, tokenized RWAs, everything a bank would need, they have it for you. And on the 18th of February, this is an interesting one, they announced permission dexes, which means banks trade on chain in KYC and AML gated avenues, their own order books, which the banks really wanted. They really wanted that. And so these upgrades fix a lot of the upgrades and a lot of the criticism that people had on XRP. Like they said, well, many clients might prefer off-chain settlement. The compliance layer now exists on the ledger as of February. This is stuff. The banks can go on-chain. And let's talk about RLUSD for a second, because I haven't talked about it yet. RLUSD is not your average stablecoin. It's not like just every stablecoin. I get it. $1 equals $1, right? Like, oh, what's so special about that? Well, while everyone's watching USDT and USDC, these are the 2 biggest stablecoins, Ripple quietly built the most regulated stablecoin on the planet with 2 major regulatory bodies overseeing it. This is like unprecedented. They're the most regulated cryptocurrency out there, pretty much. Their market cap is $1.4 billion. They're one of the fastest growing on the planet. They have the NYDFS state level trust charter. And this is a very recent one. The OCC is officially conditionally approving them. A federal trust bank charter. That's what they're going for. Conditionally approved. Their custodian is BNY. I mean, they have a state-level limited purpose trust charter. They applied for a FedMaster account, which would plug into FedWire and FedNow. Garlinghouse said that they have the highest standard for stablecoin compliance, which is bank-level regulation. No other stablecoin issuer can claim this. They're the best right now. In terms of regulation, they're ahead of everybody else. All their competitors, they're ahead of. So here's where it's live. So we got big boys here, like, you know, their advisory board and where it's live. We have Ripple Payments, which is LATAM, MENA, APAC, Africa, LMAX with $8.2 trillion in annual volume, which has an $150 million Ripple investment. The former FDIC chair, Sheila Bair, the former CEO of the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, the former governor of the Reserve Bank of India. These are all people that are plugged into XRP right now. All of them are on the advisory board. So just kind of plug that in if you're wondering, do they have the connections to do this? Well, you have it right there. And so in terms of RWA, which is real world asset tokenization, the ledger is dominating. The XRP ledger just went number 2 globally behind only Ethereum. And this happened in the last 30 days. I mean, it's a 920% growth in tokenized commodities. It is absolutely massive. They announced on XRP Community Day Aviva Investors, which has right now 246 billion pounds in AUM, the first European manager on the XRP ledger. Absolutely huge deal. They have built-in Diamond, which has $280 million in diamonds tokenized on chain. I mean, they have so many, so many. And the final boss, which I believe would unlock the gates. We already finally got past the first layer with 2025 because of the Genius Act. The final boss, if this passes, then we are good to go. This is going to activate and give the banks what they need to finally say, okay, we don't have any risk anymore. It is clear as day that crypto is good to go, we need to have the Clarity Act. It's something that's in Congress right now, in the Senate. They want this passed. Every technical barrier would be gone. And the Clarity Act could pass by April. Every single legal barrier is gone. The only thing left is market structure legislation, and it's coming. Brad Garlinghouse, this is the CEO of Ripple, says there is a 90% chance the Clarity Act becomes law by April. Here's another thing he said. 2026 is the year of integration. Integration. XRP is the North Star for Ripple. It's our purpose. Something else I wanted to show you, I just searched this up. Here are prediction markets and where they are seeing the odds for the Clarity Act being signed into law before you say that it's not going to happen. They've got a 73% chance, and that odd has just been going up and up and up and up. And Brad Garlinghouse, they have their chief legal officer in constant meetings with the banking senate. The banking committee is talking to their CLO all of the time. So they know this a lot better than we do, let's be honest. And so here's another thing he said. Senator Moreno confirmed daily committee sessions targeting on the April timeline. Here's why this is the final domino for Ripple. It defines crypto as a commodity versus a security. So finally, the SEC can't mess with them. It gives the CFTC clear jurisdiction, clears rules for exchanges and custodians. It removes the last excuse institutions had to wait. And Ripple spent $4 billion on acquisitions in 2025, and now they're integrating it all. All of it's being integrated. The SEC case is done. The tech is ready. The banks are onboarded. Just need the law, and it is coming. XRP versus Swift. Let's bring it all together. Here's the real reasons banks are switching. Ripple built this since 2012. They survived 5 years of SEC war and came out stronger. The banks tried to kill Ripple, but they failed. They failed, and Ripple just came out of this stronger. The Ripple net has processed over $100 billion. They have tons of banks, countries, payout markets. They went on a massive acquisition spree the second they could. JP Morgan moves $10 trillion a day and calls XRP a very compelling asset for banks. Garlinghouse is projecting 14% of Swift within 5 years. That's $21 trillion annually. That's a low-end prediction, by the way. Our XRP and RLUSD are symbiotic, which means, well, RLUSD is the stable value and XRP is the liquidity bridge. And every transaction, remember, burns fees. It burns XRP. David Schwartz says a higher XRP price means cheaper payments, which means the price and utility are linked. There have been 3 XRP ledger upgrades in 14 days. Permission DEXs lets banks trade directly on chain, so no longer do they have to do off-chain settlement. They could do it on chain now. The RLUSD has not only one, but dual oversight from the NYDFS and the OCC. No other stablecoin has this. And Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple, says there's a 90% chance the Clarity Act passes by April. They're calling it the year of integration. So we're not waiting for adoption anymore. It's happening as we speak. Swift had 53 years and XRP needs 5. Smash that like button if this has opened up your eyes. Share it with your friends. Subscribe. I cover XRP and HBAR every single day.
So shout out to GM Crypto. And that was a lot of good information there. So we want to make sure we check him out. And I don't think it's going to pass by April. Everybody keeps saying April. And these guys are telling me we'll be lucky to get it to pass before the summer or before the midterm elections in the fall. But let me know what you guys think about that as well. And as always, let's watch this little quick video from Oscar.
No, I mean, hours ago we were live and chatting, and ladies and gents, we got breaking news just moments ago. We got number 3. Let me tell you the full story right now. We got 2 things that I want to show you guys. If you're holding XRP, all I can say is I know the struggle. I know, I mean, hours ago we were live and chatting, and people are, as expected, nervous, are struggling, but I knew this was going to happen. in due time. We got number 3, first Grayscale, then 21 shares. And just today, breaking news, the SEC has acknowledged now the Bitwise XRP spot ETF. Let's go. It is not an approval, as you know, but it kind of moves the needle to much better plans ahead for the price of XRP, adoption, institutional involvement, and still we don't have an XRP approved yet by the SEC, because we don't even have an SEC chairman already, the one that Trump wants, Paul Atkins, right? So we're waiting on that confirmation too. And Brad Garlinghouse just reposted a post by the Coinbase chief legal officer, Paul, because Ripple spent over $150 million in legal fees defending themselves from the SEC under Gary Gensler. And I want to show you that too, fam. I want to remind you of the 2000 XRP giveaway, link down below, and take a look at the price too, because we were pretty down. Things are changing a little bit. So I just want to give you the latest update on XRP. As you know, just drop a like, consider subscribing to the channel, and turn on those notification bells, guys. We'll always keep you updated with the latest, and we're excited and happy. Whatever comes to our way, I'm not selling my XRP, and I'm always trying to buy the dip when I can, as I've been telling you for the last couple of months and last year. Now, this happened, and I'm like, oh yes, which is really good. There's also this. Paul says, here's one, because the SEC, Doge says, is seeking help from the public, right? Please DM this account any insights on finding and fixing waste. And there's Stuart, which he is the chief legal officer at Ripple. So I'm going to take a look at this one. There's also Johnny Deaton, right? So there's a lot of people that are now putting their, comments and opinions to the official Doge SEC. DM this account with insights on finding and fixing waste. How about all defendants who defeated the SEC lawsuits get all their attorney fees and costs from the commission's budget? To my recollection, Brad Garlinghouse is very smart, because he knows that will be well over $100 million. I don't think it's going to happen, but it just comes to show that to everyone, right, that they really want to be involved. And I want to take a look at the comments on this one for sure. I have the receipts. So Stuart says, hey, we know exactly how much we paid, right? We know exactly how much they paid, which is going to be pretty interesting. Maybe to buy more XRP. Oh, please, yes. So that's one. And this one, right? So this is right now breaking. Let's go ahead to the story right here. SEC. And what we're going to have right now is everybody sharing. Here it is. Acknowledge the filing for the Bitwise spot. That was a couple minutes ago, which is really, really good. Everyone is sharing the story and breaking. There's Eleanor, as always, right? She's on top. More XRP ETF acknowledgement from the SEC. We've seen Bitwise, 21 shares, Grayscale. And who is going to go next? We have Canary Funds and Wisdom 3. Guys, 5 XRP ETFs. None of them have been approved. None of them have been approved. It's just, it goes and continues the process to become finally an XRP spot ETF. So I'm going to leave it at that, so you know how bullish a lot of people are. Despite this, from a 283, we are seeing a retracement of 12%. And we've been telling you how we bought yesterday. I dropped lower, bear trap. Well, the price continued dropping. One of the things that it's driving the market lower is Solana. Solana putting a 161 and coming from 178. I mean, it's dropping a lot. And if Solana and Bitcoin do drop, as I can tell, I can show you right here, 93,000. Just look at that. Obviously, if you drop from 95 to 93, well, XRP is going to come down. The Bitcoin dominance went to 61.5. So, yeah, I mean, those are clear signs that things are not going to get better today. But with the news changing, hopefully, as we go to the 15 minutes, this is what's going on right now. So at around 12, so about half an hour ago, things went up with the news. Let's see if this can continue, guys. But I just want to kind of keep you informed. And I also want to remind you guys, join me in the first link down below. It's going to come to this page on BTCC. Sign up, create your account. And if you want, guys, start trading, get up to 10,000 welcome bonus. And as I remind you guys, the 2,000 XRP giveaway, it's the entire month of February, guys. You got a chance. We're going to be picking some winners, and you will be getting your rewards soon after. You have any questions, just let me know. I want to make sure that you are all in the know, because this is few opportunities that they don't give to everybody. I want to make sure that my community is set ready to put some nice long positions or shorts if you want. No VPN, no KYC. All right. I'll see you there, fam. That is exactly one of the things that we're trying to do, long and short, based on the levels that we are looking at, right? But in this case, I'm very excited to what's to come. Look at this. 870 billion asset manager Standard Chartered expects more sovereign wealth funds to start buying Bitcoin. They're from, I saw them in Singapore, which is really cool. See all of these big banks coming in and just saying, hey, let's go ahead and find some common ground, maybe get more XRP. Let's go ahead and take a look at Ripple in this case, because right now there's a bunch of news that are trying to stir up the conversation to let people know that, hey, it's time to buy, right? Basically. But as of right now, there's some turbulence for sure. Just fine playing utility long-term gain as usual. General crypto market is weird. Solana, it's one of those ones that are right now suffering, but I still think it's going to be fine. There's all the kinds of different projects that people are going to start panicking, but in the end, just a nice checkouts before things get much better. As expected, another acknowledge the CBOE, Bitwise Invest, and you can see it right here. There it is, 21 days after the publication. So hopefully that approval is going to come soon, so we can continue moving ahead, as this is still bullish news for XRP, guys. So there you have it, guys. This is pretty nice to see that there could be a chance for XRP to get even those. It's a recommendation, right? As they know, help from the public, not only from us retail, but also from the leaders at Ripple and other different, American companies. Should be good to see what comes out of that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time. Peace. Ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks for joining. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. What up, Phantom Beats? What up, Silver Days? But we're shutting it down. We'll pick back up later. Thanks for joining, and see you tomorrow. Same bad channel, same bad time. And as always, let's get back to the money, guys, and stay dangerous. Miners out.